I'm going to show you how to make a brand new Constant Contact email. First, you're going to open Constant Contact, and obviously you can always go to an existing email and open that, but I'm going to hit Create, and I'm going to hit Email, and it's going to open up a whole range of templates that I can use. And I look at these carefully, and I look at the backgrounds, because sometimes there's backgrounds in here that aren't available when you're in the editing mode. So if I really like a background, or I just kind of like the way it starts, I pick that. You can also type in different categories, like holidays. And as you can see, they'll show you templates geared just for that holiday to start with, and then you can just edit as you go along. Now I'm going to look for something that I can kind of create, like a Bethel welcome message. And I'm looking for a nice background and something that I can put the logo in, and some blocks that I can either keep or change. So I'm going to go with this one. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the subject line. And I'm going to say, welcome to Bethel. And then there's a pre-header. This is also going to show up underneath your headline in somebody's email. And so it's sometimes just as important as the top heading. So you want to make sure you're capturing your audience twice in two different ways. Here I can change who it is that will receive this email and who it's sent from. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to pop out this logo and put in our Bethel logo. There are a lot of things stored in our library already that other people have put in or that I've put in. So I know that I have Bethel logos in here, and I'm just going to search Bethel, and there are some logos. So I'm just going to select one. And now I'm going to take the little corner tool and I'm going to size it down so it fits. I'm going to save it. And next I'm going to go to this banner, and I'd like something that says Bethel. So I'm actually going to have to upload a file. So I'm going to go to my computer, and I've created a folder on my desktop. Normally I have to search all over different folders to find what I want, but I have created a special folder for this project. So here is a picture of Bethel that I'm popping in. And now I'm going to select it. And you can see it's kind of small, so I'm going to expand it and fill the width of my box. I could also crop it. There's a way to do that. There's a little tool that says Customize, and you click that and you can crop or you can edit, and then it'll save that version and you can bring that in. So next, I'm opening some text that I want to use in my email. Somebody might have sent me an email with information, and I'm going to use that, or maybe it's from a Word document. However you grab your text, you just copy and paste, and then you have the ability to go in and change the font, change the size, change the color, change how far apart the wording is. You can pretty much change it any way you like it, and you can keep changing it. Sometimes I go back and I don't like the way it looks initially, and then I'll give it a different look. Now I'm going to bring in a picture of our president, Ron Goldberg, because he's going to give a message to the congregation in my email here. So there's Ron. Put that in. There he is. Enter. So you can see that his picture pops in, and you see how he's looking to the left? Well, I think it's better if he's on the right side of my email rather than looking off the email itself. So I'm going to pop him over. Did you see that little line, that magenta line that popped up? That shows me that that's where my picture's headed. So whenever you bring something in, see, I just brought in a new picture box. As soon as you see that line, you know that's where you're putting your new copy or image or whatever it is that you're trying to add into the document. That pink line you should look for. Okay, so now I'm changing the copy from Ron. Oh, it's so much longer than the picture. I don't like how that looks. So I'm going to change the font size, and I'm going to spread it out a little bit more. No, I'm going to tighten it up. Sorry. And look, I can take this bar in the center and I can drag it over so that the copy block is longer than the picture block, and that way I can balance things more. You always have that option. Now I'm going to change the font color. Really easy to do. I can also drag over a divider. Oh, see, that's going between. I don't want it there. I want it from top to bottom, not side to side. But you could see by that magenta line that that's where it's going to put what I'm dragging in. I'm going to change this copy block to yellow. I'm going to change this copy block to blue. And now, just for fun, I'm going to add a video. Where are the videos, you say? Well, here they are. You had to hit the add more. So sometimes you want a video in your email. And with Constant Contact, you always have to grab it from YouTube. So I'm going to go to our website where I have a link to our YouTube. I mean, it might be something you're actually doing from anywhere on YouTube. Doesn't have to be from the Beth-El site. But this is where mine that I'm looking for lives. So I'm going to choose a video here. This is just kind of a general one I made during the pandemic. Go up to the top and grab the URL, copy, and then I'm going to go back to my Constant Contact and I'm going to click on that video box and I'm going to paste in my URL and hit save. And then it'll show me a little picture of my video. That's great. And I can add text next to it, underneath it. I could make that video much larger to fill the entire block like I did with that Beth-El photo at the top. You see how the copy went below? I want it next to. So I just drag it over and up. I saw my magenta line and that's where I wanted the copy to go. I'm gonna make this even a different color. So you see, you can really control. You're not stuck with what your template gives you. You're always able to add things, change colors, change fonts, change sizes, add headlines. There's really no limit. Move blocks around. Did you see how I just grabbed that little tool on the top right? I hovered over the right of my block and I get that little cursor tool and then I can drag a box up or down in any direction. So that's good when you're changing emails and you want to move the information around because maybe something already happened and you're going to take that off and then you're going to move something up or down. That's how you would do that. See, so I'm still tweaking this a little bit. Always have options, spacing, color, size. Okay, I can size my picture. I'm going to make it flush right. I'm going to drag this line over a little bit more. It's a little bit too much. Bring it back. Picture a little bigger. So you get the idea. So I wanted to show you how you would change the background of a Constant Contact. You go into background and you can see that there are all these different options and you can roll over them with your mouse and you can change them and pick any one of them, and you can also go in and change the color. So as I said before, you can sometimes select an email because you like the background originally, and sometimes you don't like the background and then you're able to change it. Now I'd like to add a button. We often put Zoom links or more information links or links to web pages. You can simply drag in the link button and then either go to a document, you can upload a PDF and add it here, or you can go in and add a web page by adding a URL. You can also make this an email button by clicking email. It's all right there in the link section. I'm going to get rid of that. Now I want to show you how you can add in different text blocks. If you roll over to the layout section, you can see that there's different mini pictures with photos and text, and a block with a big capital T, that's for a headline. And you can just drag and drop and put dividers in between them, and you can see where there's like a block with a little photo thing. You can select it, click on your library and pull in your photos, and then you can just select the text and change it. So this is how you can easily manipulate blocks and edit them and move them around as you need them. So today I'm going to show you how to update an email that you already have in Constant Contact that you change regularly. So first you're going to go to the menu that has all the different emails listed in it, and you're going to find the email that you are working on, and you're going to click it and wait for it to open. And then once you get in it, you've obviously saved it as and given it a new title. So I like to scroll through and take a look at each block and see what am I keeping, what am I deleting, what am I changing. So now I'm going to go in and make a few edits. I'm going to put a little padding around a picture. I'm going to take out some extra spaces. This can happen sometimes when you're setting up your page. Extra spaces get added, so you got to make sure that they're gone before you send it out. Sometimes colors change randomly. It's the weirdest thing. So scroll down through your email. Check for things that are old that you need to remove. Here's one. This is last week's. Take that out. Going over the gear, clicking the garbage can and deleting it, and then deleting the lines because there's only one line between each section. And I like to hit save periodically. It's supposed to auto-save, but sometimes it doesn't, so I just like to make sure. Here I'm going to replace this picture because this week's menu is different than last week's. So I'm going to browse for that picture on my computer. I'm going to locate it and click on it. You have to kind of memorize where you keep all your pictures. Sometimes it's better just to have them in one folder on your desktop. I obviously keep a lot of different pictures, so I kind of have a mental note of where they are. Lucky me. So I'm going to put this picture in because this is part of this week's menu. Save it again. And now I'm going to check to make sure that I've got the right link on the order because it's probably set up for last week's menu and it changes every week. So I have to go into SchulCloud, open the form for this week, which is February 12th. Well, it's next week's food that you're ordering this week. So I'm gonna keep searching through SchulCloud till I find it. There it is. So I'm gonna go to the form. I'm gonna go up and copy and paste the link. Grab that. I'm hitting a key command, so it's hard for you to see that I'm doing that, but I'm copying it. And then I'm going back to Constant Contact. I click on my button. I'm gonna hit link and edit. And I'm going to paste in the new link and save it. This is also where you'd add a document or something different. If that, we'll go through that too, but that's basically how you would change an existing link by just replacing the URL. I'm just checking here to make sure this is the right link. And it looks like it is. So I'm looking at the Love Your Neighbors Yourself section, and I remembered that Rachel had sent me something new for this week, so I keep a folder of those new things to add to the email. This one says Love Your Neighbor. So I see that it's February 24th, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to go to the last event in the section. Well, I'm going to copy a block and then I'm going to move it. So by hitting that duplicate button, I create the exact same block as the one I just used. And I'm going to put in my copy. Now, obviously the copy is not the right format, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to change it to the font that I have my email formatted in, which is Arial. And then I'm going to move it around so that it's in the right place with the title followed by the date. And I'm trying not to change my click here to add to calendar, just to keep the formatting the same. So the date goes below the title. So I'm going to change that around. And then I have to go in and change the colors. So basically, it's good to check your fonts and your point sizes, because sometimes it looks okay in Constant Contact on the screen, but then when you send it, it changes. It's it's a wacky thing, but I always like to just double check that when I send it to myself, the fonts are as consistent as they can be with my format. Okay, so I've changed the body copy to 12-point Arial, and the headline font is 16. And I'm going back just to make sure. That's a really long title, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this co-sponsored and I'm going to move it into the body copy so it's not such a long headline. And I'll check with Rachel, of course, to make sure she's okay with that. I'm going to go put it into the body copy at the end, towards the end. Oh, and now it's all blue and big, so I have to go in and change that. Don't want it bold. I need gray. I need to be 12-point. There we go. Okay. And now I'm going to take this link out. I prefer buttons to URLs that are underlined. I think it's just easier for people to find them when they just see a big button. So I'm going to go back to my link. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to copy and paste. And it's not a Zoom link, it's more information, because that's what was in the blog. So then I got to go in and it said, go to this link for more information. That doesn't make sense anymore, so I've got to change the copy. Click here, or click below for more information. Got some extra space in there. See, this is where you sort of have to pay attention. Get a lot of extra space if you're not looking for it. And I need a separator bar. Did you see where I grabbed that? The divider. Oh, it's white. That's the standard format. I got to change that to blue so it fits in this section. The Love Your Neighbor section, which is blue. Just to make sure it's in. And look, I've got this wacky, I told you sometimes the colors. Oh, whoops, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. I'm going to save these pictures on my desktop. I need a new picture for this block. There we go. Have to remember where those are. And now I'm going to replace a picture in the new block I just created. Starting on my desktop. There we go. Put that in. Okay. And you can mess around with the size if you need to, padding. So I will go into the calendar and grab that as soon as I know that it's loaded, although this is probably not a Bethel event, so we probably won't have it on the calendar. I'm going to change this rule that somehow got turned black to blue. Oh, now I'm noticing that this is February 24th, and that goes after February 16th. So got to get that in the right order. Got to make sure the lines are in the right place. And there you go. So there you are. I've covered pretty much the basics of Constant Contact, and I hope you've learned a lot. But if you have any other questions, feel free to contact me and ask me specifics. I'm always happy to help. Thanks, and have a great day.